I'm going to put an invitation on our Facebook page to join us on Zoom
On Zoom.
if
Okay.
they can't find us.
Okay. There you go. I see Ellen on.
Okay. Are we live? Not yet. I wonder if just Wednesday afternoons are so busy.
Yeah, I read something that for Zoom saying start your meeting at any time except the top of the hour, 15 after or half an hour after, just because everybody else starts their meetings on the hour. So,
Yeah. All right, I heard somebody else come
hi,
in.
Linda.
Sorry. How are you doing, Blair?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Real good.
Good.
Good to see you here.
It's good to be here. It's good to be anywhere.
Well, that's true too. Yes.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, how are ya?
I'm well, sweetie. I hope you're well too.
Oh, I am doing what I do best. Nothing. I'm a pro now. If they
Ah,
gave me a certificate, I'd qualify.
You got the training and everything done, huh?
That's it. I may write a book.
That wouldn't be nothing, that'd be something.
Yeah, how to do absolutely nothing and get away with it.
yeah.
Have you guys taken any more interesting trips, Blair? Didn't you go to the Holy Land one time?
We had it set up. Well, it's still set up for the end of this year, but at this point, I don't know if it's going to happen because of
Bummer.
yeah. So we'll see. We can reschedule it. There's also some interest in going to Scotland.
Oh,
So
Aye,
so we'll see what things look like. Another couple months. What the
very
people's
good.
what the
Well,
interests are.
yeah, I hope it looks much better than it does now.
Yeah.
How's things going at the church, at your church?
Well, I am retired, almost 2 years now.
Well, it must be nice, huh,
It is.
Deanna?
Yeah, it's interesting talking to ministers who are active and talking about all the things they're trying to deal with now, trying to do Sunday service live and connect with
Yeah,
people. It's like, oh, I got out at the right time.
exactly. Very good. Well, it's good to see you.
Thanks. Thanks. So how we doing, Deanna? We ready?
it still is not loading.
Uh,
I'm going to also post the link on my personal Facebook page. Oops. No, 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 no. Oh,
See, waiting while it loads is the
yeah.
new. Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Yes, it is. I'm thinking about the days when we were dialing into AOL to go
Right.
online.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like you'd fire it up and then you would go do some laundry, make a sandwich, come back and check, vacuum. All right. Let's see. It's still trying to load. So it's saying we're live. Well, it's saying preparing. So I think we'll just go ahead and get started. How do you feel about that, Reverend Blair?
Let's do it.
Have a
Let's
nice
do it.
recording. And so, Linda, I'm going to put everybody on mute everything, okay?
Very good.
All right. Let's see. And I'll ask you to mute your video too, okay? Yeah, she's trying to talk. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for being here today, Reverend Blair, as we are trying to, well, we're trying out new things right now to like keep bringing like positive messages to people. And so I want to introduce you. Reverend Blair Tabor is joining me today. You see him sitting there with his beautiful guitar. He's going to be playing some music for us. He is an ordained Unity minister of 39 years. He's also an accomplished speaker, composer, and a musician. He has used his varied talents to inspire and delight churches, retreats, conferences, and young people all over the country with his speaking and his music. I have got to see him in action during some of our luncheons and Southwest region programs that have happened. He's written over 200 songs. He also does have a CD and a songbook available. He also has produced meditation CDs, which we really need those meditation CDs right now, don't we?
Well, we're going to do one today. So.
Wonderful. He also leads a variety of workshops and trainings for churches, and his goal is to remind people of their connection to God's love and joy. So, Reverend Blair.
Well, thank you, Dana. Thanks for inviting me and being a part of this. Glad we could do it.
I am too. So would you like to open with a song?
Yes, I thought one of the things that's, of course, things are shifting through the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
And at the beginning, it was hard to sort of focus on anything. And what I'm really seeing, because people are talking about, when is it going to return to normal? And it's never going to return to normal, to what it was. And who wants to be normal anyways, right?
Right.
So we all want to be extraordinary. So this is a song about letting go. It's called Say Goodbye. And it was interesting, about a week after I wrote it, I played it in church, and there was a young woman who came to sort of check me out to see if she wanted to use me for her wedding. And I played this song as a part of the service, and afterwards she says, I want you to sing that at my wedding. I thought it's an interesting song to sing at your wedding, Say Goodbye, but it's about saying goodbye to the old stuff. So.
Okay.
Say goodbye to yesterday. You don't need to feel that way. Everything's gonna be okay today. Say goodbye to hating stuff. You don't need to be so tough. Love is just enough to see you through. Say goodbye to all those dreams, as good as they all seem. It's time to dream bigger dreams today. You are something new and full. You are something beautiful. And you are letting go the old and putting on the new. Say goodbye to who you were. Something new is about to stir, and I think you'll prefer the new you see. You are something new and full. You are something beautiful, and you are letting go the old and putting on the new. Say goodbye to yesterday. You don't need to feel that way. Everything's gonna be okay today. Everything's gonna be okay today. Thank
beautiful.
you.
So beautiful.
So when I was writing the song, it was almost like dictation, writing the words that came. And when I got to that third verse about say goodbye to all your dreams, I said, wait a minute.
Mhm.
And then the voice said, just shut up and listen. As good as they all seem, it's time to dream bigger dreams today. And so
Yeah,
that's where I see us, is that, you can't go back. Got to move forward. Spirit's drawing us to something new.
it is. It is. And I know it's taking some of us a little while to realize, wow, okay, we're not taking a sick day. So I said we would be talking about like some of your favorite Unity tools of the trade for dealing with or working through challenges like this. And if we can get through this kind of challenge, we can get
Yeah.
through any kind of challenge,
Yeah,
right?
we can get any kind, yeah. And each challenge comes, and it's only a challenge because we haven't done it before.
Yeah.
Once you've done it a couple times, you stop making as many mistakes, and you keep going forward.
Yeah.
So one of the things for me is that I noticed, particularly the first couple of weeks, it was just so hard to focus. And even now, I sort of have to catch myself. My mind just jumping monkeys all over the place. And so I was thinking of a prayer technique, and I sent you that image. And this was when I was serving at Unity San Diego. Every once a month, I would do what I called meditation practice, and I'd just present some technique, some idea for them to practice with, and see how it worked for them. Because some things work for some people, and different things work for other people. So this one particular Sunday, it was scheduled, and I realized as I was walking from the sanctuary to the chapel where we did the meditation practice that I hadn't planned a thing for that day. And so I just sort of stopped and said, all right, Spirit, what do you got? And Spirit gave me an image of the heart and breathing around that and then putting the words, I am God's love. And so I presented that, and that was the most powerful of all the different techniques that I used, that I presented to anybody. And one of the ladies there she was in her internship as a chaplain, and she was at Children's Hospital and working in the cardiac ward at Children's Hospital. So these are little kids who have something wrong with their hearts. And so she would teach this meditation to the kids and to their parents, and miraculous things would happen with these kids. They get well. So she was doing that. And even though she's left, the nurses still teach that to the kids there. And I get reports from people from time to time saying, I'm still using that. So I'd like to present it. So if you can put up the image, or if Adam can put up the image
Yeah.
of the heart. And if you look, when you look at it sort of backwards, yeah, there it is. So it looks like love I, God's am. But if you start at the center at the top and go around towards I and breathing in I, and then imagine going down to the bottom of the heart, breathing out am, and then breathing in again, God's, and then breathing out love and returning back to the center at the top. That's the pattern there. So it has a visual component of the heart. It has an oral component of the words, and has a kinesthetic component of the breathing. So it has the three major ways that we learn, the three major ways that we get our attention on something, and combines them all into one thing. So it's been very helpful for me, and I use it myself. Just as I feel myself, jumping from one idea to another and getting calm, getting anxious, getting distracted, I just stop and just go, I am God's love, and just bring it back, and it's been very, very helpful for me. So what I'd like to do is just have us do that for a while.
Okay.
And so was my description clear enough for you? And hopefully if it was
Yes.
clear enough for you, then it's clear enough for everybody
Yeah, that if
else.
we start at the top of the heart and we
Right.
basically are going clockwise.
You can go either way. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're looking at it and it's clockwise. You can superimpose over your heart and think about doing it the other way. It really doesn't matter one way or the other.
Okay.
But it really is mostly about the breath at the beginning, just breathing in up and then down, out, and then breathing in, up the other side, and then breathing out to go back to the center.
Okay.
So, and everybody's breath rate is different. So I'll just start out directing and then give some quiet space. And then every once in a while, just sort of jump in to remind people, because I know our minds will wander and bring us back.
Okay.
So I invite everybody to close their eyes and just get in touch with that heart space and feel that heart space and that image of a heart around that heart space. And then just breathing in and going up one side, and then breathing out, going down to the bottom of the heart. Breathing in, coming up the other side, and breathing out, resting just for a moment at the center, and then going around again, up, in, and then breathing out, going down, coming up the other side, breathing in, breathing out, coming back to center. And just sort of keep that pattern going. Breathing in, around, down, out, breathing around the heart. Just slowing your mind, connecting with the breath. There's no other place to be, nothing else to do right now. Just to be with your heart space, just to be with your breath. And then once you feel that connected, then begin to add the words. So once you're at the center again at the top, breathing in, I, breathing out, am. And then coming around the other side, breathing in, God's, breathing out, love. And just I am God's love. Whatever your pace of breathing is, I am God's love. With your breath, with the heart space. Breathing in, I. Breathing out, am. Breathing in, God's. Breathing out, love. And just sort of notice what you notice as you're breathing with the heart shape, putting those words in. What do you notice? And then just continue. Breathing around the heart, breathing with the words, I am God's love. So why don't we check in here? So just take a deep breath and let that go. And I'm open to hearing what your experience was, Deanna, and then we've got some others on the call, on our Zoom call, seeing what their experience was. So.
Well, my experience was I had no idea how much tension I was carrying in my shoulders.
Yes.
No idea. And so breathing in and having that beautiful image to like hold in my imagination, it just felt like a wave of compassion.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Yeah. Really beautiful.
Yeah, good. Oh, and I just wanted to thank Pat Case, who's the artist for this. She did so many banners for us while I was at Unity San Diego, and this is when she was there for that heart meditation, and she came up with this image to go along with it. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, excellent job to her.
Yes.
Too. Yes. Okay. So our participants, let's see. Anybody would like to share? Just put your hand up, and I can unmute you. I can even see where your hand is. Okay. Would anybody like to share? Oh, here we go. Linda. All right, Linda, let me unmute you, dear. Okay, Linda.
I didn't have any problem following the I am God's love.
Okay.
Projected in front of me. But I tried as an experiment to put it around my own heart.
That's what you want to do. Yeah, bring it right here.
It wouldn't stay there.
It wouldn't, huh?
My attention kept popping back to in front of me.
Okay. So that's just a practice. So practice because it's about your heart space. It's not about anything outside of you. It's about connecting right inside of you.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you, Linda.
sharing.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else like to share your experience of that lovely meditation? I guess we got a shy group on here today.
Okay. Well, so we've taught this, or I'm saying we, other people have taught this to the teens in our regional youth activities. They were using it at church with the kids, and so people of all ages relate to it and work with it. So,
Yeah.
but again, as you said, that once you start doing it, all of a sudden you feel, okay, I'm holding this tension. I've been worrying about this, and so I can come to this space and just sort of let that go for a while.
Yeah. Okay. So I love your singing voice, but your meditation voice, it's like, wow. You could be on the Calm app reading sleep stories.
Well,
Very soothing.
one of my fun experiences when we were doing YOU events back at Unity Village, the annual international YOU event. One year a couple years actually, they had a storyteller, professional storyteller come in and teach some of us bedtime stories to help the kids wind down and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I've had some practice with that. So.
Yeah. Well, would you like to play another song for us?
Sure, I can do another one here. Let's do, this is one before my daughter was born, so I don't think it was really for her, but it's called "Don't Cry, My Daughter," and it's really about that feeling part of us all, and about recognizing that we can tune into God no matter what's going on around us. Don't cry, my daughter. Love is all around you. Don't think it's somewhere far away. You can be laughing with all creation as it sings of the beauty that resides in everything. And you are God's lover. He loves all of life through you, and you express the beauty and wonder that each passing moment can bring. And in you, God lives today. Be glad, my daughter. Laugh and dance and sing your song. Express the beauty that you see. Beyond the darkness, you behold God's kingdom that is come. Love is the truth that sets you free. And you are God's lover. He loves all of life through you, and you express the beauty and wonder that each passing moment can bring. And in you, God lives today.
That was so beautiful. So beautiful.
Yeah, and what I see is that because we're crying one way or another because we're caught up in what isn't working for us, and rather than realizing that really God created us to be a lover, to be the lover that's bringing love to the world. And once we're about bringing love to the world, we're not worried about how things are working. We're just on the job, being love.
Yeah. That is really powerful. That is very powerful for right now. Especially, I mean, for all the time, but yeah, right now, just to know that we still are empowered to draw that through us.
Yeah.
And still find so much beauty.
And
Oh, go ahead.
and what I'm finding is that I have time. When I did the Sunday service for Unity Carlsbad a couple of weeks ago, I found this wonderful things. Well, you wanted time to clean up your room. Well, now you've got it. You wanted time to read that book or write that book. Well, you've got it. You wanted
Yes.
time to do all this. Well, now's the time. And so I'm
Yeah.
finding for myself is not to be in a hurry to get all these things done.
Yes.
But to say, okay, I've had this vision of doing a labyrinth in our side yard, and so about a month ago, I started sort of tracing how I wanted, and rather than a regular circular labyrinth that we usually see, it's more of the Celtic style that sort of flows in different directions. And so I sort of marked it out where I wanted to go, and well, now I've got time to build it. So I've got some of the materials, and I'm starting to do some of the digging to get the brickwork in and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but again, I'm not in a hurry. I did a lot of work yesterday, and this morning, part of my mind was going, well, I should go to Home Depot now because I need some more bricks and I need some more this, and then your mind says, no, just breathe.
Yeah.
Give your body a break. You did a lot of work yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be tomorrow and the next day and next week and probably the week after that. So
Probably.
it's, I don't need to be in a hurry. And I always remember too that there were times at church, because sometimes they're so busy, Easter week or the week leading up to Easter, and then, around Christmas, it's just so busy. And then there were spaces where it seemed like, people weren't calling, and there wasn't as much to do, and I wasn't preparing for a board meeting, and I wasn't planning for the budget, and there was sort of the space, and I'd say, well, I should be doing Spirit say, no, this is your break.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Yes.
You don't need to be that busy all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I watched your the talk that you gave for Unity of Carlsbad back in March, and you said something I just thought was just like boom. To be permeable to Spirit and let the ideas of Spirit work in and through us, instead of having the mind that is locked around ideas that are limiting.
Yeah, and I've got a song I'll do in a minute called "God's Mind is Working in My Mind."
Yeah.
And it's about that because, if we think that God is everywhere, that means God's inside of us. So those ideas of God are already inside of us. Mm-hmm. But we're busy with our own ideas, which are usually, if not negative, at least limited.
Yeah.
And so to recognize, okay, the phrase I use there, being permeable to Spirit, being open to it. I always like to use the phrase that when life squeezes you, whatever comes out is what you've been full of. So if life squeezes you and you're angry, well, the anger was already your anger was already there. So what do you want to be filled with so that when life squeezes you, that's what comes out? And so it's another way of looking at that idea of being permeable to Spirit. So
Right.
I want to be filled with joy and love.
Yes.
Yeah, so that when life squeezes me, that's what comes out.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I was thinking the other day, I've been pushing myself really, really a lot. And I've been thinking about how like other people say that they have this time and they're like relaxing and doing things they haven't tried for a while. And I was like, why aren't I allowing myself to do that? I feel like I'm constantly like doing something. And I realized that a lot of what I was keeping myself busy with were things that weren't all that important, really. And that was also keeping me from being permeable to Spirit.
Right.
That I was stuck in just a busyness for busyness sake.
So here's another exercise. So after you've done your heart meditation and you're open to that, is that we have a judgment center just below the heart, right? Wisdom.
Yes.
Fillmore's original, he called it judgment, but in the current usage of English, judgment has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
And so we can think of righteous judgment, but I like to use the word discernment.
Yeah.
And so I use it this way, thinking of, we have this wisdom center, so I can ask a yes or no question and wait for the response. Is this mine to do? There's this whole list of things to do. Is this particular thing mine to do? Is the answer yes? And then wait for a feeling.
Yeah.
And then is the answer no? And wait for a feeling. and see what comes. And sometimes you have to ask a couple times. Sometimes what I found is that the way I've asked the question already presumes some kind of answer or outcome. And so I've got to go back and reframe the question in a different way, because I'm not really asking the right question and Spirit's not responding. And it takes some practice. But there's usually an energy, like a little buzz, for the, is it yes? Is it no? One of them will have a little buzz that the other one doesn't. And if you're not sure, just ask again. But again, you have to be centered first before you can do that. If you're all tense and frightened, it's hard to connect with that. So
Yeah.
so that's something that you might try too. Look at your list of things. Is there anything on this list that I need to do? And then if so, then limit it down to what's there. I remember going to a time management course one time, and they said usually you've got an A, B, and C list. The A are the things that have to be done. B are the things that be nice to be done. C, well, it's okay if they get done or not. And so what the guy says, look at your B list and make everything there either A or C, and then throw the C list away, because you're not going to get it all done.
Right.
So what are the things that are really most important, and let the other things go
Yeah.
for another lifetime,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to play cello, but not this lifetime. I've got enough things to work
Right.
on. To be really good at it.
Yeah.
Yes, I should have started earlier.
I was thinking learning Morse code would be fun,
Oh,
but
yeah.
somebody would have to learn it with me so we could do our tapping, in secret and communicate with each other.
Sign language is another one.
Yeah.
American Sign Language. The some of the signs are just so amazing, and the sign for release is, what are you holding on to? Well, let it go.
Beautiful. I
Yeah,
learned hug.
yeah,
Yeah. And this is love, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
So and faith is, it's like, what are you going to believe in? What are you going to
Right.
put your energy in? And I really think of faith as a focus. Where am I focusing my faith? Because my faith can be focused on the end of the world and all the things that are going to proceed and lead us down that devastating path, or my faith can be focused on, what's the blessing in this moment? How can I be love and expression? So
Yeah.
so faith is sort of neutral. It's how we use it.
Yes. We're almost to 1:30, but I want to ask you a question about faith, if you don't mind.
Okay?
Okay. So my feelings on faith is that if we have faith in something, it doesn't mean we have to be completely fearless about it. I mean, if
No.
we have faith that something will be moved in the right direction, and we step into courage and we call forth the resilience, but it doesn't mean, just because we still have to call forth the courage, it doesn't mean we don't have faith, right?
No, and there's a line in the original Wizard of Oz when the wizard is giving the courage medal to the lion. He says, courage doesn't mean that you're never afraid.
Yeah.
It means doing what you know needs to be done even when you are afraid.
Yeah.
And so faith doesn't mean we're never going to be afraid, doesn't never mean we're ever going to be worried. Again, worry is just investing our faith in what we don't want. Because our mind is not one pointed. It's not just one thing. It's multidimensional, and so there's all kinds of things, and all kinds of things trigger our feelings. And so it's when you're afraid, it just means that one of your needs isn't being met. So
Right.
which need is not being met, and can you fulfill it? If not, can you make a genuine request from somebody else to help you?
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that clarity. I had somebody say, well, if you have fear around it, if you have to call forth courage, it means you don't have enough faith. I'm like, well, wait a second. I think stepping into courage gives me more faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, there's an absolute view and there's a relative view, and I'm not an absolutist.
Okay.
I know, I believe in the absolute, and I work towards connecting with and expressing it. But meanwhile, here on the ranch, I'm still working my way through my stuff.
Yes, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. And then when I catch myself, in the fear, when I catch myself in the worry, then I can stop myself and say, no, I don't want to be energizing that. I don't want to be putting my energy of faith in what I don't want. What do I want, and what can I do to energize that? So.
Right. Right. All right. So you have another song for us.
Yes, so let's do this one. This is called
Okay.
God's Mind is Working in My Mind.
I just love your music, and I'm so happy that you're playing for us because I feel like music helps us work through things on another level. When if we're just trying to think about stuff, we might be able to put up, a block in front of that. The music kind of opens us up to like receive.
Yeah, it does. It connects at a different level. There's an old phrase that says that when you sing, you pray twice.
Oh, I love that.
So then when we do Sufi dancing, I say, well, when you sing and dance, you pray thrice. God's mind is working in my mind. I see the light shining through. Divine ideas of all kind. I know just what to do. My mind is the gate I can create. Life heavenly. And all of my thoughts are working with God's pure energy. God's mind is working in my mind. I see the light shining through. Divine ideas of all kind. I know just what to do. God life in me flows full and free. I am alive. Energy flows, my body glows. I am revived. God's mind is working in my mind. I see the light shining through. Divine ideas of all kind. I know just what to do. Now is the time for me to unwind all thoughts of lack. I now give thanks for all of the ways I can give back. God's mind is working in my mind. I see the light shining through. Divine ideas of all kind. I know just what to do. God's mind is working in my mind. God's mind is working in my mind. God's mind is working in my mind.
That was fabulous. Oh my gosh. I am going to have that. I want that stuck in my head.
Good. Yeah.
That's like the perfect song to get stuck in your head.
And I've not recorded that one yet, except for now. And so that's part of my other thing is after I complete my labyrinth and redo our living trust is to a bunch of recording projects I'm going to get on. So
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
that'll be wonderful. Well, you have blessed us today with your music. You have blessed us today with your meditation, and you have blessed us today with your joyful sharing.
Well,
Thank you.
it's been a joy. It's always a joy to be around you, Deanna. You bring such light and such wonderful
Oh,
energy to everything you do. So
thank you so
always good to
much.
hang out with you.
This was fun hanging out. This
Yeah.
was fun hanging out. All right. Well, I guess we'll say goodbye then.
All righty.
And all right. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be loading this up on the Facebook page so we can share it. All
Very
right.
good. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
everybody. Bye. Take
Blessings.
care.